Hey y'all, welcome into the final fall episode of From the East Side, TexAgs student podcast for students, by students. I'm Luke Evangelist, a marketing major. She's Kay Nagley, a communications major. So obviously neither of us have anything going on during finals week, so we decided to take a break and film a very special episode for y'all.
Yeah, speaking of special guests, Texas A&M's very own 12th man Sam Mathews joined us today. What a great guy.
Yeah, and we also had Kennedy Cavin recapping A&M volleyball season before she graduates. I don't know who let that happen.
Yeah, sad times around here. And then also Ali Russell, TexAgs' own and former Texas A&M soccer player, talking about their season. Before the semester is over, we wanted to sit down with one of the most important students on campus, let's just say, Texas A&M's 12th man, Sam Mathews. So just to start this off a little bit, we want to go way back, before you were even at A&M a little bit. What did you know about A&M going into maybe looking for colleges and things like that? And then when did you know you wanted to be an Aggie?
Okay, so to take us back to 2009, my dad stumbled across 3 tickets to, I think A&M was playing Rice or Baylor maybe.
Okay.
And I really didn't have any previous knowledge before that of any A&M traditions, like culture here or any of that. So we just show up to the game, and my dad ends up disappearing to go get drinks for us. And so I'm 9 years old, and all I know is the Aggie War hymn comes on, and a bunch of older guys start hunkering down next to me, and we just get into it. And it was something that I fell in love with at a young age, and that's really when I knew I wanted to be an Aggie. And so obviously for the next, couple of years, I would follow football, obviously the Johnny Manziel era, so I was a big A&M fan. And obviously I wanted to offer to come here and play, but that never came. So it all ended up working out. I came here and walked on, so the rest is history.
Yeah.
Who would you say your favorite A&M player or team was growing up?
It's got to be Johnny. Easy.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel, Mike Evans, Ryan Swope, that whole era was peak A&M football for me.
Yeah, so what do you remember about trying out for the team? If there was a specific, memory that stuck out to you, words said among coaches, what was your experience like?
Okay, so show up, and I wasn't really sure what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be more competition stuff, throwing the ball, running, but it ended up being more of a conditioning-based workout to see where everybody's shape was. And I remember vividly it came down to, at the very end, we did fastest man competition. So it was just a bunch of guys running 40s. And it was different heats of guys, and then it ended up coming down to 2. And it was me and Will Smoot. He's actually on the team
He's
still.
on it, okay.
So it was me and him, and we're racing after, I don't even know, 6 40-yard dashes. And I ended up legging him out. I'm sure that he's still pretty upset with me to this day, but I ended up legging him out and winning that one. So that was probably my
Worked
best
out for
memory.
both of y'all.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So at the conclusion of last season, you were planning on coming back, but found out you were out of eligibility. You ended up applying for a waiver that took a month to be approved. So why did you want to come back and play for another year, and why did you fight so hard?
I love A&M football. I've been living the dream since 2021 when I showed up here, and I wasn't really ready to walk away from it. I was 5 years or 6 years into college, and I had only played 2 years of college football. So obviously I wanted to, get my 3, maybe 4 years out. So I went and talked to his name's Marcos. He's our eligibility guy, and I came to him, asked him if I had 1 or 2 more years, and he was like, "Yeah, you're actually out. You're done." And I was like, "This can't be true." I had so much in store next season. And so we ended up working through something. Actually, it ended up being the COVID year wasn't really applied to me directly because I wasn't on the A&M football team yet. So we had to sign the whole waiver and try to get that year back, which, God willing, it ended up coming back, and we got this year back.
Yeah, so this year, named the 12th man.
Right.
Take me through exactly how you found out. Was it the conversation? Was it a jersey laid out? How'd that happen?
It was in the team meeting in Hagner. I think it was the 29th, maybe August 29th.
Okay,
It had
exact
to have been.
date?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because it was my previous number, 29, so I put that to memory. But we walk into team meetings. It was the season was coming up, so somebody had to be named it, so we were all kind of just waiting day by day. And finally, Jimbo comes in, and he's like, "We got another announcement to make. We got to name a 12th man." And he started going into kind of the history, the culture, or everything with the 12th man previously, and he started And then he said, this person contributes a whole lot on special teams, and that's kind of been my road since I've showed up here. So I think instantly when he said that, I kind of knew that it was probably going to be me. So it was great to spend that moment with my teammates. Once he announced it, everybody got up and they were fired up, congratulating me and everything. So it was great to be there with my teammates. Got to give my mom a call and let her know. So I'm sure she was really happy to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sure she enjoyed that.
It was awesome.
So it's not easy to go through a change in leadership mid-season, but how do you feel that this team responded?
This team has responded great. I've never gone through this before, so I didn't really know what to expect. Obviously, a lot of the kids could have given up or, just wait to see what's next. If they know they're not going to play here, then why waste those last couple of weeks? But I feel like the team really bonded behind Coach E-Rob. He's a resilient leader. He has a great job of kind of connecting with the players and, making it about them. He brought, joy and fun back into practices that I haven't had since I was in Little League football. So it was awesome to go out there and kind of, give to your brothers and give back to Coach E-Rob for those last couple weeks.
So one of the most memorable moments, I think, for a lot of students here and just fans was the 12th man kickoff. Have to talk about it. Can you take us just back to practice when Coach Robinson just introduced the concept to y'all?
It was in our team meeting rooms. We walked through our whole practice plan before practice, and he put the 12th man kickoff on there, and everybody's like, wait, what are you talking about here? And so then he kind of goes into the culture of the 12th man kickoff. Great history. They were a dominant special teams unit back in the day. So obviously we knew that there was a lot that comes with it, but we were excited. We practiced it a couple times during the week, but I don't think at all I was expecting what happened on Saturday against ACU. Alex Zettler and Will Smoot delivered a memory that I will never forget. So that was pretty awesome the whole entire week. And then just for that moment, it's something that I'll cherish forever.
Yeah.
That wasn't the only great thing that you were a part of that game. Can you take us through the moment where you got the last tackle in your last game at Kyle Field?
You couldn't have wrote a better ending than that, huh? It was bittersweet. It was awesome to be able to do that in my last game, in my last play at Kyle Field ever. But just knowing that that's the last time I'll ever be able to kind of perform in front of the 12th man, the best student section, the best fan base in college football. So it was pretty bittersweet, but I'm so glad that that's how the book ended. I'm glad to flip the page and maybe see what's next.
Yeah. You've spoke very highly just of your support system throughout this whole thing. I'm a frequent TikToker, and I've seen your girlfriend post all the 12th ladies stuff. No? So how do you feel about that, and how did she just start doing that?
She's trying to make it big or something. I don't know. I deleted TikTok a long time ago. It was one of those things that I just found I was wasting too much time on, so I deleted it. But she's really found a knack for capturing little moments.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome.
She's a stud. She captures them, and she ends up sending them to me later the day whenever she posts them. And she keeps me updated on how they're doing. But she's a sweetheart. She's really dedicating some time. Maybe we'll see her in L.A. or something soon.
Heck yeah.
That'd be awesome. What would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned from your time at A&M?
Probably just don't quit. A million times, things aren't going to go your way. I was a walk-on, found my way in special teams, scout team depth chart. So I wasn't even really running down the field yet. And, you just keep giving your all and not quitting. The grass is greener I don't know if I'm going to say that. The grass isn't greener on the other side, but obviously if you put your work in and you dedicate yourself to your grind, then I feel like there's not really anything anybody else can tell you. If it's, your will and what you're willing to do, then I feel like you can accomplish your dreams in any way.
We're going to do a little rapid fire. We're going to call it 12 with 12 with Mr. 12th man himself, Sam Mathews. So first question, who is your top artist on your Spotify Wrapped or Apple Replay?
Rod Wave.
Okay. Unexpected.
Rod Wave.
Okay.
Easy.
What's your favorite A&M tradition?
My favorite A&M tradition, gosh. I love the Spirit Walk every single time. Walking down the field before or walking down the street right before the game is a memory that I share it with my family every single time. I make sure to point them out and go give them a hug and kiss. But that's something that I cherished every single game day, was being able to spot them out in front of everybody.
That's awesome.
Favorite former A&M player?
Johnny Manziel. Easy. Yeah.
Favorite non-football athlete at A&M?
Favorite non-football athlete at A&M. Okay. Let's go with Boots. Easy.
Nice.
Yeah, he's electric.
Have to.
Got to get behind him.
Favorite professional team?
Houston Texans. Yeah.
Like in CJ Stroud recently?
Oh, I love CJ Stroud. It's been a tough couple years being a Houston Texans fan, but CJ Stroud's going to take us to the top.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
What's the coolest stadium you've ever played in?
The coolest stadium would have to be AT&T.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to play in Houston because I've never played in NRG before, and I think it might top Dallas for me just because I've been a long-time Texans fan.
That's awesome.
But AT&T for sure, you can't beat that stadium.
Yeah.
Best pregame meal?
Our pregame meal is the same every time, but I probably go chicken Alfredo. It doesn't matter how early it is. I was skeptical at first to whip the chicken Alfredo out at like 7 in the morning. But
All those 11 a.m.s?
Yeah, you got to try it. Throw some slap your mamas on top, and it'll all work out. It'll be good.
What's your pregame hype song?
Pregame hype song. Let's go with Future, Blood, Sweat, Tears. That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
3 dinner guests, dead or alive?
3 dinner guests, dead or alive. Okay. Let's go Elvis Presley. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was.
That's a solid one. Okay. Then let's go. Oh, this is a tough one, isn't it?
It is.
Maybe
really
throw some wisdom in there. We need like Albert Einstein in there. He might share some knowledge.
Yeah.
And then the last guy, let's go LeBron James maybe?
It's a good trio.
God
It's
knows,
like all 3 like different
They all bring
phases.
something
We're
different.
going to be talking about a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. So you've got an unlimited supply of anything. What would it be?
Ooh, an unlimited supply of everything. I am a fiend for oatmeal cream pies.
Really?
I promise you I will put away a whole box.
Oh
It's
my
bad
gosh.
at this point. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I'm a decent singer. I promise you I won't sing to
Really?
you today, but if you catch me on a good night, I might be able to whip something out for you.
Interesting.
Decent singer.
And then what will you miss most about attending Texas A&M?
It's got to be Saturdays playing in front of the 12th man. That's something that, I'm already it's hitting me already that I'm over it, or not over it, but it's not going to be happening anymore, and it's kind of a somber feeling, but I'm still going to be coming back to plenty of games. So I'll be there on the
You
field
have
trying to
to.
soak it in as much as I can.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Last question for you. You will officially run out of eligibility unless you
Yes.
can maybe get another waiver or
Who knows?
anything. But where do you see Texas A&M going under the leadership of Mike Elko in coming years?
I see Coach Mike Elko bringing a winning culture back here to A&M. He's a great guy. I've spent my first year here as a walk-on while he was the DC, and he's a mastermind. He's really behind the X's and O's, and he does a great job at relating to the players, and I think he'll be able to bring in a winning culture back here at A&M. I'm excited to see A&M in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, Sam, we appreciate you coming in.
course.
That is our Texas A&M's 12th man, Sam Mathews.
Thank you, guys.
Shout out to Sam Mathews for an awesome interview. Now, if you guys want to see more stuff like that, make sure to subscribe to Texas Aggies United to make more stuff like that and awesome interviews with Sam happen.
And for one last time, let's go check in with Kennedy Cavin and Ali Russell. Hey, y'all, we're here with Kennedy Cavin, TexAgs student volleyball reporter, wrapping up A&M volleyball season. The Aggies finished 16-13, 8-10 in the SEC. What are your overall thoughts on year one under Jamie Morrison?
I think it was as good as we could have hoped. I think they just hit a really tough stretch of conference play at the end, which kind of messed up their schedule or their record. But the beginning of the season was really, really, really promising, and I think that the people that hopped on the Jamie bandwagon should stay there because I think he performed incredibly with the tools he was given.
As far as record goes, I mean, not necessarily what you're looking for. Also finished 8th in the SEC, but saw a lot of resiliency out of this team. Is this where you thought A&M would be at this time?
No, I think when you have a first-year head coach and somebody coming off of such a different playing style that Jamie Morrison did, I don't think you really expect the best, but I think that he gave us really something that we can look forward to and something that these girls can look forward to and us as fans can look forward to.
Yeah.
So how do you feel overall he did in year one, given those assets that he had, and what do you see the future of him doing?
I see him going and just continuing to build this program. I think we have a couple people leaving, a couple people graduating. I think he's going to pull some people out of that transfer portal, pull some upcoming freshmen up and put them in big roles. And I think the people that are staying, like Logan Lednicki, Ava Underwood, a lot of them, they have a lot of promise, and they're also going to be juniors. So they have 2 more years of playing left. But I think next season it's going to be just as incredible, if not more.
Yeah, you touched on a little bit just what is next for this program, but specifically just overall grand scheme of things, where do you think this program could be in 5-10 years?
I think in 5-10 years, this team, based off of the right recruiting and focusing in on some more basic skills, I think this team can compete in a Sweet 16, Elite 8, maybe even a Final Four in the next 5-10 years. I think it really just depends on a lot of factors that we as fans don't know, but Coach Morrison has been building, and he's made it very clear that he's been building it all season and since he got to Aggieland.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us, Kennedy, and recapping Aggie volleyball. We'll be back talking Aggie soccer with Ali Russell and recapping their season as well.
We are sitting down with Ali Russell, TexAgs own and former Texas A&M soccer player. So soccer season has since we last filmed, but we wanted to talk just a little bit about the season overall. They finished 10-8-4 with a second round exit in the NCAA tournament. In your words, what was the best way to describe the season?
Gosh, I feel like honestly it was a lot about redemption, like just proving people wrong. I think there were so many people that had opinions at the beginning of the season, honestly myself included, that it was a bummer to see how the season had started. Obviously it was a rough couple of few games leading into getting into the season, but I do think it was just a lot about redemption and proving the haters wrong. You know, people love to say, and you do love that story, the comeback story. And so I think it was just a lot of hard work, a lot of effort that you could see in each and every game. And yeah, just proving people wrong, I think, is the main theme that encapsulates English. Thanks, Luke. I can always count on you. Thanks. So yeah.
Okay, so Florida State, they just won the national title. What does that say about A&M to be able to hang with a team like that, not just once but twice?
Yeah, I mean, you're saying so yourself 2 times. And I know last time I was here we talked about it and talked about leading up to that game and leading into that game what we thought it would look like. But I have to say that I am so proud of how the team carried themselves and handled themselves. And obviously it was nice that they had that game at the beginning of the season to have an idea of what Florida State was like. But when you can come out and you can play against a team that ends up being the best in the country, that shows the talent and depth that you have on a roster. And so I think that should give them a lot of confidence. It sucks to lose, but there's some niceness at least when the team that you lose to ends up being number 1 in the country.
Yeah.
You can look at a game and be able to evaluate things differently and find things differently. So I do think that should give them a lot of confidence moving into this off season now. But
yeah, so you speak of it off season, you've been through it before as a player. What becomes the main focus just after you face a loss like that, and then knowing again you have a lot of confidence from you just lost to the number 1 team in the country, but what mainly keeps them motivated just throughout the off season?
Yeah, I think at first it's a lot of just having a break. I think you get to a point where you need a rest. You just need some time to sit and relax and get your mind off of all craziness of season, because it does take a toll physically and mentally. You end up getting really tired, but I think moving into off season, it's just a lot of hard work. You are lifting almost every day. You're practicing. In a sense, there are days that are like 2-a-days, but it's just a major grind. And I think that again, like the way that season had started, if it would have maintained that way, I think this conversation would have looked so different. But based off of how they ended the season, I do think it gives them a different kind of confidence, but also motivation that they know they can hang with the top teams in the country and that they still have almost the same roster with the same talent and the same people to be able to then go and do that. So I think it's just a lot about grinding and getting ready for what's next to come.
Yeah, so speaking of what's next, you're very familiar with this program. What is the next step for this program?
Yeah, it's actually really exciting to see who is going to be coming back next year. I mean, you have people like Cece, who has so many accolades already. This was only her sophomore year. Sydney Becerra. You have Andy, who is a vet that's coming back for her 5th year after having her whole recovery period with injury. You're going to have people who were injured that were freshmen or new coming freshmen who will be back. You're going to be able to see, I feel like, so much talent that has already had experience, but then so much talent who hasn't been able to yet. And so it's really exciting, I feel like, for them to have this next phase, this next semester where you're able to train and get to know each other. Again, the new people who come in early, you're able to get to know them, and just what the new dynamic and vibe of the team is. Every spring it's different. There's a new vibe each and every time. And so I think it's really exciting for people who are returning that have so much talent, people who are new that have so much talent, to just see how that all works together.
Yeah.
Well, Ali, even though soccer's over, we hope to maybe have you on another time for whatever reason. But Aggie soccer season is officially over. That is Ali Russell. That will do it for the last fall episode of From the East Side, including our good friend Kennedy Cavin, who we had on every week. And you wanted to ask us something?
Yes. Okay. So there is only one correct answer to this question.
Okay.
Who was your favorite guest that you had on all semester?
See, you have to go. We have to go with the reoccurring guest, I'm assuming.
Reveille, Kennedy. It's going to be tough. I'm
Hand
going to
in
have to
hand.
lead with Kennedy.
Reveille wasn't here every week.
You're right. She
So,
wasn't.
can we
I mean,
go
you bark like
reoccurring?
I'm going to throw you out of that window.
And
That would
that'll do it for the last episode. They will continue bickering after this episode goes on, but we will see y'all next time.